Hello everyone, it is Carol Garrison with Carol's Creative Escape. Thank you so much for joining me this week on Make It Monday. Excited to have you here. If you are watching, please drop me a quick hello. Let me know that you're around. Just quick pulling myself up on my tablet to make sure I'm where I think I am. And I suppose I should turn my phone off so I don't get any calls or text messages. I've had a series of text messages flying back and forth here. So glad you could make it. I hope you had a great week. Mine has certainly been a little bit on the interesting side. I was very fortunate to go on a very much needed crafting weekend girls getaway at a retreat center in Wisconsin, near Baldwin, Wisconsin. And it's just me and 5 other women that attended this. And we all just brought our whatever we wanted to work on. I admit I was the only card maker there. The rest of them were working on scrapbooks. Sometimes somebody sews. Sometimes there's more people working on cards. It doesn't really matter. We all really enjoyed our time away. My big achievement, I had a long list of things that I wanted to achieve. I did need to get through... Hi, Lynn. Thanks for tuning in. I did need to get through a couple, actually one more set of card swaps for a swap that I'm participating in. So I was able to get that done. And I had, like I said, kind of a long list of things to get done. But I actually got through, I think it was 15 paper pumpkin boxes. I am actually current for the first time, and I can't tell you how long on my paper pumpkins. So I've cleared out a bunch of space in my craft area because I don't have paper pumpkin boxes there anymore. And it felt so good. So, of course, like many of you probably, I'm now going to work really hard to make sure I keep those paper pumpkins current. We'll see what happens, but it was fun to be able to work on those. I kind of needed a weekend where I didn't have to think super hard. And that really fit the bill. And there were some kits that I just simply didn't like, so I put off doing them. And I was able to find a bunch of great alternatives just by doing a little searching on the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club page and some other things. So anyhow, I made tons and tons of cards as a result of that. Some I made as directed, some I did alternatives, some I did a mix of each, but it really felt good, and I am now stocked up on cards for sure for a long while. Unfortunately, while I was up there, my husband called to let me know that he had tested positive for COVID. I had tested before I went, so I knew I was negative, and I talked to the people there. We were all boosted, fully vaccinated. So I was able to stay there, which was kind of nice because then my husband could isolate here at home, at least for the first couple days. Unfortunately, he hasn't been hit super hard. He's kind of had a variety of the symptoms, but they sort of come and go, and then he's done with it. So I think we will be in good shape, and we're now living in separate parts of the house, and then kind of hoping that I can avoid getting this awful thing. Hi, April. So glad you could join us tonight. So anyhow, I'm trying some new lighting, and what I don't like is I've got rings showing up in my glasses with that lighting. Let me see if that helps. Now I'm down to just one light. I think that helped a little bit. Anyhow, so that was kind of our weekend. We had some stormy weather move through last week too. Nothing like most of the other people, not like most, but like some of the other people. We had some strong winds blow through, but it only knocked down a few branches just like any other storm would. And we got some much needed rain out of that storm, and some fabulous thunder and lightning to listen and watch as well. So anyhow, that's kind of my week in a nutshell, my week, last week anyhow. Again, I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I'm excited to jump in and start sharing up a card project with you. I knew when I left that I was going to have a package arriving from Stampin Up that had some great things in it. And I unfortunately, by the time I got home, because of change of plans with some things I needed to get done that my husband wasn't able to take care of, feeling a bit under the weather, my day yesterday got a little shifted from what I thought I was going to be having time to do. So I'm not able to show you the stamp set and products in its full glory tonight, but I will. I am watching myself. It looks like I've got mosquito bites or something all over the way I'm scratching me. I'm not sure. Must be nervous tonight. Anyhow, I will try not to do that anymore because that's a little distracting. All right. So anyhow, I was going to show this suite of products because I absolutely fell in love with it simply because somebody showed it to me. I'm going to save that for next week. I am going to use one of the stamps from the stamp set. But next week is when I will show you the full suite of products. So let me go ahead and turn my camera around. If you can give me just a minute while I shake and jiggle things here, I appreciate it. Just a moment. And there you get to see my big hand and my lovely lighthouse picture. I love lighthouses. My husband and I actually enjoy touring them and traveling places to see them. And so that one is just one of the ones that we have found on some of our travels just up on the North Shore here. Okay, let me try to turn on. I'm going to slide my camera just a titch so that I'm a little more centered. And get things squared away here. I don't know why my camera is crooked. It shouldn't be up there. But let me turn my stand just a titch. See if I can help it. Oh, not really, did I? Good grief. All right. Don't know why I'm having problems with that tonight, but here we go. We're just going to make this work, and I apologize if I'm a little crooked on camera. It's probably my phone stand up here. Stop worrying, Carol. You ever have days where you just can't quite get things the way you want it? Alrighty, let's go ahead and get going here. This is just I told you I was participating in a swap. I actually did 2 sets of cards for this swap, and one of the cards, I am so cattywampus. I'm sorry, but this is just going to drive me insane. Let's see if I can get it now. I think I'm better. All right, I'm going to try to stop fussing now. I participated in 2 card swaps, and last week the card that we made on the live was one of the cards that I did for the swap. I think if you remember this one, a great card to show off the designer series paper and create just a little bit of note writing space on it. Really, really liked that card and the paper that went with it. Today, I've got what I'm calling a triple panel card, and I've done it using all designer series paper as well as some designer series paper and a little bit of embossing. I don't know if you can see that, but let me hold it up a little closer to the camera here. I used one of the new embossing folders. It's got fern leaves on it. It's just gorgeous. And then this is the new designer series paper called Sun Prints. I don't know if you guys ever remember going out in grade school. That's where I remember doing it. And you had blue paper and you stuck stuff on top of it and put it in the sun and it changed colors. So you kind of had the silhouette. Well, that's what this paper does. One side of this is all pretty much shades of blue, and then the other side is gray granite. So these 2 cards are made with the same designer series paper. I'm just using the reverse side on it. And this was actually kind of my test card because I wasn't sure how the layout was going to work. And I have to say I really like how this turned out, and am glad that I picked that card. This paper is my test because I think it worked out really well. So this is the card I'm going to show you to make. Whenever I am doing swaps, I like to make them nice but easy to mass produce. And so that's what I was working on with this particular set of cards. Now, the paper I'm going to use is one that I played with a little bit during my craft weekend, and it is in the January to June catalog. It is called Abstract Beauty, and it comes pre-cut as a 4x6 piece of designer series paper. That's kind of new. You get a total of 48 sheets, but there's just a ton of designs in this pack of cards. Now the colors in it are Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Just Jade, which has retired, Magenta Madness, which is also retired, Misty Moonlight, also retired. So I know there's 3 ink colors that have retired, but I'm going to show you a real close substitute that you can use, and I think it works just fine, at least with the paper I've chosen. Anyhow, Night of Navy, Pumpkin Pie, and Basic White. And the reason I'm showing you this is I've had this for a long time and I just haven't used it. And I was amazed when I started going through it at all the different colors that exist in this particular sack of paper. So it's in the January to June catalog. So you have through the end of June to order this. It's the mini catalog. But I didn't want anybody missing out on it because I'm not sure this is one of those papers that really shows up in the catalog very well. So we've got this cute little, one side of it, I should tell you too, has the gold foil on it, and then the other side is without foil. So I guess you could call this the A side of the record and the B side, but both sides are gorgeous. So we've got this cute little one with flowers. Here it is with that Blushing Bride, and this is Just Jade, but it goes pretty well with our mint macarons, so don't be alarmed if that is a retired color. Here we've got just a black, white, and gold piece of paper. And then you've got another Blushing Bride with some of the gray, blackish tones in that gold. And look at this fun print. That would make such a cute birthday card, I think. Or if you're scrapbooking and you use the Memories and More pages to stick it in, you could cut this down and slide it into that just to decorate a page with. I think this one is a lot of fun too. This is the Magenta Madness, but you know what? It goes very nicely with Polished Pink. I think you can make that color work without a problem. So don't be alarmed if you see some of these colors are retired, because I do think we can make it work. And here's one that's just gold and white striped. Great for wedding cards or graduation maybe. And here's a fun one. I know it's Pumpkin Pie was the color. This kind of looks like Mango Melody to me a little bit too. But, you know, again, you can make some really fun cards. How about this one with the gold foil dots? And here's a cute little one. Again, you could do it in a scrapbook or however you want. This would be cute for a baby card just because it's got all those pastels in it. But then let's flip it over to the back side and look at, isn't that plaid so pretty? And these dots, these two are the 2 patterns that we're going to be using in our card tonight. Here's just a stripe that make a cute card front, and you could stamp with your Stamparatus going down the road there and have everything real even. Which, funny side note, I was exiting the freeway to get to this retreat Thursday, and it's only about 45 minutes from my house, so it's not a huge drive. Realized I hadn't brought a single block with me. Not a single block. So I started unpacking, trying to figure out what I was going to do. Somebody else was going to have their daughter stop and pick some up or whatever. And I realized I had packed my Stamparatus, so I was able to keep stamping even without my blocks. Now, my husband was very sweet, and he did drop them off Thursday night. We actually met for dinner real quick, and he dropped them off. This was before he had tested positive for COVID. So anyway, I was able to finish the weekend stamping with my blocks, which for some things did make it easier, but it didn't slow me down because I forgot them. So just FYI, always pack that Stamparatus. You never know when you're going to need it. Anyhow, here's just kind of the gray, black, white, both in splatters and in stripes. Real pretty pattern there. I like this kind of graph paper looking pattern. And here's just a real cute kind of basic gray and white polka dots. And then I love these color combination. I think is really pretty. And again, that'll go with Polished Pink pretty well. These polka dotted pink. How about this one? I like that too. It looks like it's been splattered with water to get kind of the watercolor marks or bleach marks. And then just an ombre with the green. So anyhow, Abstract Beauty. It's item number 158039 in the mini catalog, but lots of potential with the card cardstock that's in there that you can work with. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started with this card. To start with, you need a piece of cardstock that's cut 4 1/4 by 11. And then, of course, you'll need a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white or whatever color you want to put on the inside of your card. And then you need to have 3 more pieces of cardstock. I'm using this color. It is Mint Macaron. I couldn't remember the color. It is lovely. DSP, you're correct, Kay. And in case you're wondering, DSP is Designer Series paper, but sometimes it's easier to say DSP. It can get to be a mouthful. So I've got 2 pieces of Mint Macaron that, this is Balmy Blue, by the way. The 4 1/4 by 11 is Balmy Blue. The Mint Macaron, these 2 pieces measure 3 3/4 by 1 1/8. And this piece measures, oh, I lied. These 2 pieces are 3 7/8 by 1 1/8. This piece is 3 7/8 by 2 3/8. And as I'm talking here, I'm pretty sure I cut these 3 3/4. Oh no, I didn't. Carol, you are so good. Yay. Some days I really amaze myself. Yep, I did it right. Good grief. I think I'm a little tired from my weekend away. All right. And then we also have 3 pieces of Designer Series paper. So this one will measure 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then these 2 pieces you'll need to cut 2 of will measure 1 inch by 3 3/4. I think that's where my mind was going with the 3 3/4. And then you'll also need a piece of cardstock in whatever size that you need to fit whatever punch you're going to do for the sentiment. This one I used the dies. Oh, they're the ones that go with the Poppy set that we've had for, it's been in the catalog a couple years now. It's the, it's the painted labels. Nope, it's not the painted labels. Oh shoot, now I'm not going to remember which one it is. I thought I had it. It is, and I know it carried over, well, Tasteful Labels. Is that it? Nope. Alright, I can't remember, so I will have to post it in the comments. But I'm pretty certain it is one that carried over as well. So I'll post it in the comments once I figure out which one it is. Anyhow, I can't remember. Oops, sorry. Now I bumped my phone too. Anyhow, piece of scrap to do that. So the stamp set that I'm using is the new stamp set that I received this weekend. But like I said, it was too late for me to really do it justice. However, I am going to show this stamp set to you real quick along with the dies and just tell you that next week I'm gonna really wow you with this set. This is called the Season of Chick, and it actually comes with some paper and some Designer Series paper. There's a bundle, a suite available. So we've got dies that go with it. It is the Chick dies and then the Season of Chick stamps. This stamp set has 17 stamps in it, and it comes with a total of 19 dies. Now, I personally, when I saw this in the catalog, thought, whatever. Until I watched somebody talk about it a little bit. You guys, this is a 4-season stamp set. We've got fall, we've got spring, summer, well, probably spring with flowers, summer seashells, and snowflakes for winter, along with a couple of background designs. And then we've got some wonderful greetings, both in a typed font with the cursive, which if you've been watching me at all, you know that I do really like that combination. And they're just some great all-around sayings on here, sentiments. So I'm going to be using Wishing You the Best Birthday Ever. It is a photopolymer set, and it is a 2-step stamping for a lot of them. So you've got the 2 seashell pieces, the 2 floral, the 2 leaves, a couple different splatters, and although there is only 1 snowflake, I think you could easily put some color behind it using this stamp. That's one of the things I'm going to play with, and just see what I can come up with on that. But then you've also got all these dies. So there's 3 different snowflake, 4 different, 5 different, well, these 2 are the same, but 4 different snowflakes. There's a couple different seashells, so you can cut the detail as well as just the outline, and you know, a couple bonus shells if there's not a stamp to go with it. You've got this cool background piece that it's going to cut out. Same thing with leaves and the flowers. So just way too much that I could show you tonight and do this justice, but really, really excited about this. So check out the new catalog, Season of Chick. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get started with this card so that you guys can turn around and maybe even make one yet tonight. I'm going to start, as I try to do most nights, with my stamping, and I am going to use the postage stamp, and I know it's not, I don't think this is the postage stamp. In my world it is, because that's what it looks like to me. Let me get it correct for you. It is the rectangular postage stamp, so I was pretty right. Huh. All right, and then I'm going to use my Balmy Blue ink. So I'll get that open, and because it is a clear photopolymer stamp, I am going to stamp on the piercing mat. And I'm going to raise this up. No, I'm going to put it down a little lower. And the reason for that is I want to put, oh, I don't like how that's stamped. We're going to go to the back side and try again. Much better. My E was kind of fuzzy on that last one. I'm going to add some embellishment across the top there, and so I wanted to have some room to do that. So let's let that one set aside so it can dry, and I'll show you real quick how to assemble the card. Of course, you're going to want to take your bone folder, which is right here. I did actually get all of my supplies unpacked and put away. It didn't happen till today, but I'm feeling pretty good about doing that. And that's the only reason I was able to find that bone folder. So I'm just going to take some adhesive and attach this to the inside of my card. Looks like, yeah, we're going to make this the front. It's just a titch longer, and that way there won't be funky edges showing. All right, so I'm just adding that to the inside, nothing fancy there. And then you're going to see how easy this card is to make. And the cool thing about the Night of Navy one, this one where I embossed this, I was able, you could do it one of 2 ways. You could do a whole sheet of paper in the embossing folder and then cut it. I actually chose to cut first because I don't want to squish any of that pretty embossing. But I was able to get 5 of these strips in the embossing folder, crank it through the machine. So I really didn't have to do a lot of that type of work to produce those strips. I was able to do multiples at one time. And gosh, Carol, because you're talking, you did not attach the layers in the order you were supposed to. So I am going to go ahead and center this here. Since I put adhesive there, we'll just change up our plans. Hey Jody, thanks for watching. Yeah, this layout has lots of options, I think. And you would like this Abstract Beauty paper too if you're going to be placing an order. All right. So here we go. We've got that first layer created. It's really just making layers of cardstock with this card. And again, depending on the paper that you use, this would make a really cute baby card with some of these pastel colors too. I just don't have any baby stamps that are current right now, so I wasn't able to do that. But I thought it could make a cute birthday card. As well. All right, so now we've got these two layers there, and you can guess they're going to go here and here. Remember, press lightly, make your check mark, and you won't run into the issues I just did. All right, and then we're going to kind of space that one. And place that one. So even the spacing isn't that hard. Now, a little trick that I did as I was lining them up, it was starting to get late on a couple of them. I just laid the previous one and used that to kind of eyeball where each of my pieces should go. So if you're mass producing, that's kind of an easy little trick that you can remember as well. Okay, and now we've got our label here. And so I'm going to grab some dimensionals, I think. Yep, I am. And we'll put them on the back side where I goofed up on the original. And I'm just going to peel the back off. Oops. And we're going to put that right here. And then let me grab my box of embellishments here. And I want to check one thing on one of these embellishments, because there's a set I'd like to use, but I don't remember if they retired. I'm still trying to figure out some of those. Nope, it looks like they have retired. All right, not a problem. I'm going to go to Plan B. And I am going to use just some silver rhinestones, but I am going to color them with my Balmy Blue blend pen. So you can use your blends. You want to use the side of the tip so that you don't bend it. And throw a couple of the small ones into, oops. And hopefully this color will show up a little bit more. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but I think once I get it on the card, it's going to show up that they're colored blue. So let me grab this. One thing I'll warn you is if you are coloring them, you want to be careful you don't touch them with your fingers right away, because they do take a few minutes to dry. And I've done it where I've gotten ink on my fingers and then gotten it onto my card. So there, you got a little bit of bling in the color of the card. I think it picks it up a little bit. So that is a quick and easy triple panel card. Again, one of the things this does is it really shows off the designer series paper. And that's one thing that I am trying to do. I mentioned that last week, is I'm not only going to use it, I'm going to use my designer paper up. And so I've got a ways to go with this pack since I kind of just discovered it. But I like that I can show off 2 different pieces of designer series paper. You could even do 3 different if you had patterns that you thought coordinated. So just a quick, easy card. If you wanted to put a little something on the inside, you could certainly do that. It wouldn't have to be, maybe we could do, let's just do this. Because it's live, I can change my mind midstream. I'm going to put a seashell inside. We'll ink that up. And I'm just doing kind of the solid piece, or the line piece. I'm not doing the whole shell, but I like how that looks because there are shells that just have those stripes. So that's a quick way to decorate the inside of your card as well. So again, I hope that this card inspires you. Take a look at the designer series paper that you have. It doesn't take big chunks, so if you've got some leftover paper that you want to use up, this may be the card for you. Feel free to change up the sayings, turn it into whatever kind of card you want. You could add embellishments to the front, you know, a die cut or something else as well. But again, very, very easy card to make, and it really shows off all of this gorgeous designer series paper that we're lucky enough to have. So thanks everybody for joining me tonight. I will see you live again next Monday. Take care. Have a great week. Good night.